Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Shootout Review and Reactions. In this video and to watch the US 6th generation fighter jet, man. We're to see the best fighter jet of the US. So let's see the new generation fighter plane video of America and what they're doing and how they just operate. So let's see the video and just see the power of the new fighter jet of USA. Stay with me and give your opinion in the comment box, man.
Watching the channel Incredible Facts. The United States has developed many different fighter aircraft for different purposes throughout its history. They were the first in the world to develop the 5th generation F-22 Raptor fighter, which caused a storm of emotions around the world. It was ahead of its time and exceeded the characteristics of all existing competitors. But along with this aircraft, many other developments were created, which are constantly being modernized to meet modern requirements. Obviously, America is also working on the 6th generation fighter jet, which you will learn about today. We've prepared a list of the top 10 U.S. fighter jets for you. F-14 Tomcat. In August 1981, the American Air Force defeated Libyan combat pilots in the Mediterranean Sea north of Libya. For the Grumman F-14 Tomcat, this was the first success in aerial combat. It was the beginning of the history of the aircraft, which became one of the most famous American combat aircraft in the history. The Tomcat was developed as Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation's solution to Navy requests for an aircraft capable of defending aircraft carriers against bomber attacks. It was expected to create a new aircraft for the Navy and Air Force. But eventually, Navy Admiral Thomas Tomcat Connolly was able to defend the idea of developing a special aircraft specifically for the Navy's needs. The Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation project appealed to the Navy so much that they decided to skip the prototype stage, beginning fighter production in 1969 and getting the first new F-14s in 1972. The F-14 could track up to 24 enemy aircraft at distances of up to 195 miles, 315 kilometers, with the AWG X-band pulse Doppler radar, which happened to use one of the first microprocessors ever to appear on a fighter jet. The fighter's armament was no less reliable, with many options to choose from depending on the type of target and its distance from the Tomcat. With a total of 10 suspension points and a payload capacity of 14,330 pounds, 6.5 tons, the aircraft could effectively fight both fighters and bombers. F-15E Strike Eagle. The McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle is considered one of the most powerful fighter bombers of our time, although it performed its first flight back in 1986. The aircraft is a two-seat fighter based on the F-15D fighter trainer. It is intended to conduct long-range interdiction operations in various climatic conditions. The F-15E was the first serial multipurpose fighter bomber that was almost a decade ahead of other similar aircraft. As a result, it gained a strong position in the global aviation market. The F-15E is a carrier of tactical nuclear weapons. It can carry up to 2 B-57 and B-61 bombs, including the latest B-61 Mod 11, adopted by the U.S. Army in late 1996, and capable of hitting modern, buried, heavily protected targets, strategic command posts, shelters, etc. Also, last year, the Americans demonstrated that the F-15E Strike Eagle could be turned into a strategic bomber if necessary.
Cool, man.
There are 5 AGM-158 Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff Cruise missiles suspended on the holder of the fighter. This is one of the most modern systems of this type in the arsenal of the United States Air Force. The AGM-158 JASSM is a high-precision cruise missile developed by Lockheed Martin Corporation. It is intended to hit important, highly protected stationary and mobile targets at ranges outside the Advanced Eagle. The American aerospace concern Boeing started flight tests of McDonnell Douglas F-15E Strike Eagle fighter bombers in the modernized version of F-15EX Advanced Eagle, which can carry hypersonic weapons. The first flight took place in early February last year. The 90-minute flight took place at St. Louis Lambert International Airport and was operated by Boeing F-15 Project Chief Test Pilot Matt Geis. Avionics, the aircraft's main systems, and software were tested during the flight. The ground test team also collected the necessary information for the examination and confirmed that the first flight of the F-15EX Advanced Eagle went as expected. All components and units worked as they were supposed to. The main feature of the new aircraft is the Open Mission Systems architecture, which makes it easy to implement new technologies. The Advanced Eagle also has a new electronic warfare system, an upgraded cockpit, and several other innovations that distinguish the F-15EX from existing modifications. The total number of F-15EX Advanced Eagles scheduled for production is estimated at 144 aircraft. At the same time, the U.S. Air Force reported that the general contract with an indefinite delivery date for an indefinite number of fighters will be approximately $23 billion. Eagle was presented by Boeing Corporation on March 17, 2009. The main goal of Boeing specialists in the process of developing a new modification of the F-15SE was to reduce the F-15 fighter's radar visibility, particularly to reduce the effective area of scattering of the front hemisphere. The leading edges of the wings were covered with radar-absorbing materials. The F-15SE also has conformal armed compartments for internal armament placement instead of conformal fuel tanks, and the tail plumage is tilted outwards by 15 degrees to better disperse radio waves. Ammunition occupies most of the space in each armed compartment, and the remaining space is used for fuel storage. According to the developers, the effective area of the aircraft dispersion into the forward hemisphere corresponds to the level of the fifth-generation aircraft in the configuration approved by the U.S. government for export sales. At the same time, modernization does not negatively affect the aerodynamic quality of the F-15SE. The Lantern system, target acquisition system installed on the fighter, is designed to identify, capture, and track moving and stationary ground units. It provides an automatic launch of guided air-to-ground missiles at 6 targets with 8 to 12 seconds.
Cool. Design. Yeah. Great job, man. Great job. Peace.
F-16 Fighting Falcon. The F-16 is the most common fighter jet in the world. This fourth-generation American multi-purpose lightweight fighter was developed in 1974 by General Dynamics and put into service in 1979. From the beginning, the F-16 was designed as a mass lightweight fighter, not only for the United States, but also for a huge number of allies. Its developers from General Dynamics and later Lockheed Martin more than succeeded. The conclusive proof is that the F-16 has been chosen in dozens of countries, and the total circulation has already exceeded 4.6 thousand aircraft. For clarification, the counterpart of the F-16 in the USSR, the MiG-29, was sold around the world in the number of roughly 1,600 aircraft. Many modifications of the F-16 fighter were produced. The most modern of them is the F-16B Block 7072. This aircraft differs from previous versions by the implementation of an upgraded APG-83 ASA radar, which is capable of detecting air targets at a distance of over 229 miles, 370 kilometers. Also, by upgrading computer components and avionics architecture, implementing an infrared search and tracking sensor, and integrating the most modern weapons. The Super Hornet is an American single-seat deck fighter bomber and attack aircraft. It is an in-depth redesign of the FA-18C Hornet fighter. It performed its first flight on November 29, 1995. Last year, the Boeing aircraft manufacturing concern delivered the first FA-18 Super Hornet deck fighter in the latest Block 3 version to the U.S. Navy. The military ordered 78 of these aircraft from the concern. The Super Hornet Block 3 has a radio-absorbing covering which makes them invisible to radar stations, and an improved airframe. It has a service life of 10,000 hours.
So that's it. That's it. The video is really, really great, and I think one of the greatest plane this is, and I think this is cool. You can see the best part that this plane is really powerful, and this have a power of invisibility. You can just track it. You cannot just track it with your radar. So this US plane is really, really powerful. The power is awesome. So please let me know what you guys think about this plane in your comment box, and you can watch this video in Incredible Facts channel. They're the great, and that's it for today. And if you want to see more big country reviews or more amateur video, just click here, this part of this playlist, and you will have great videos. And you can click here for Russian video, you can click here for Poland video. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Shita Review Reactions now.